I took the Apple Watch Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max scuba diving to see how they'd hold up. And the results actually changed the way I think about dive gear, but not the way that you might think. Let's dive in. I already had the Garmin MK3i and more dive cameras than anyone could ever need, but I'm curious and I know that you are too. So I wanted to see if the Apple Watch 3 and the iPhone 17 Pro Max were as amazing below the surface as they are above. So here's the deal. I wasn't expecting the Ultra 3 to replace my MK3i by any means. I was really just curious. It's Apple, it's a great wearable, and it has a clean layout. So it does decent as a dive computer. Plus it's got a simple user interface on land, but that falls apart as soon as you're underwater and you don't have touchscreen capabilities. But even in the pool, something just fell off. I couldn't quite shake the fact that I wouldn't trust this thing on a real open water dive. I just wouldn't. Add to that, the screen is small and the UI is just okay, but it is limited. And it made me realize that my Garmin MK3i is really small too. They're about the same size. I realized that I want a big, beautiful screen with giant data and big buttons for the user interface. I want to be able to see everything at a glance without squinting. But the real deal breaker for me, air integration, or really the lack thereof. I kept looking down at the Ultra 3 over and over to see my pressure and it just wasn't there. And for me, having a dive computer that isn't air integrated is pointless. And there's a bigger problem. Since Apple doesn't have a built-in dive computer in the Ultra 3, you have to use the Oceanic app, which is a subscription model. I don't know about you, but I have enough monthly payments coming out for little crap hitting my account every month, so it's not for me. That's actually what pushed me to upgrade to the Garmin X50i. Huge clear display, full air integration, and subwave features that you could ever want. Yes, my MK3i had all that too, but this is that on steroids. Massive screen, 4 big buttons, really good user interface. So that's the kind of tech that actually matters to me, and that unboxing is coming up next. Guys, if you want to help the channel, I dropped the links for all of this gear in the description. Please consider buying your gear through those links to help the hunt keep going forward and so we can continue making these videos for you. Now let's talk about the iPhone 17 Pro Max underwater, because this thing shocked me. Macro magnificent. I've never really gotten into macro before, like ever. Maybe it's because I was using the wrong hardware. Probably because I was only using action cameras. But this huge screen on the iPhone makes framing incredible. It is really cool. You can actually zoom in and see detail that you can't see with your naked eye. I think I'm gonna start shooting some macro photography for the first time. And it does a few other things that your action cameras can't do. You can instantly share all of the content that you captured as soon as you hit the surface. That's pretty cool, especially if you guys are trying to follow what we're doing on our next dive trip, or maybe if we're giving away clues for a hunt. You can literally write messages, like if I want to tell Gunner something, I can write messages that I couldn't otherwise like hand signal underwater. So you can do a lot better communication than you would be able to if you were only using hand signals. Both of us having a Garmin with subwave transmitters is gonna help with that too, but I'll get into that in the next video. There's one thing that never leaves your mind the entire time you're diving with your brand new iPhone: a leak. Even in the default C-Touch 4 Max Plus housing, if it leaks, your phone's done. Now, we tested this thing in our local spring, which is just like 2 hours from here. So if it floods, whatever, it's not a huge deal. You file an insurance claim and you get a new phone. But if it floods on a dive trip out of the country or in the middle of nowhere in some remote setting, that's a huge problem, guys. Even though I have no reasons to believe that the dive bulk would fail, it still lives in the back of your mind the whole time. If you're new here, here's something awesome. We had real treasure underwater. We call it the hunt. If you find one of our coins, you win actual high-end dive gear from the brands that we trust. And in the last 2 weeks alone, we've locked in almost 20 new gear brands and resorts to partner with us. So get ready, because the next round of hunts is going to be incredible. So testing the Ultra 3 made me realize that my MK3i is basically the same size. And I wanted big, bold, easy to read data screens. And so next up, we're gonna do an unboxing and a setup of the X50i, as well as switch Gunner over to the Garmin MK3i, get both of us on the T2 transmitters, and we're gonna show y'all how all that works. And after that, I've got the Dive C-Touch 4 Max Plus review. This thing lets you take that insane iPhone camera underwater with full control. And yeah, we might be giving one of those away as a coin prize soon. So stay tuned, guys. It's gonna be awesome.